Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our webinar for Keys to Campus Life, Housing and Registration Process. Good morning, good evening, good night from whenever you are. We will wait for a few minutes to let everybody join us, and then Darren will start the session. My name is Zara, and I'm graduate enrollment counselor and MBA SFBU alumni. I'm very happy to see you join us, and thank to all team members who participating in these sessions. I can see Lee, Dr. Lee is here, Dr. Judy, Jason, Tracy, thank you all for joining us. We will start soon. I will use this time to ask our team members to introduce themselves. First of all, I want to ask Dr. Lisa, can you start introducing yourself to the team and attendees?
Hi, yes, thank you, Zara. Hi, everyone. We're welcome. We're glad you're joining us today and looking forward to responding to your questions. I'm an undergraduate enrollment counselor on our team and see many familiar names here. So we're definitely excited to join that you joined us and to share information.
And thank you so much, Dr. Lisa. And Quincy, would you like to introduce yourself before we start?
Of course. Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining us from wherever you are. I'm Quincy Williams, one of the graduate enrollment counselors here. It's good to see some familiar names popping into the webinar today. I look forward to answering your questions.
Thank you, Quincy. And Darren. Darren is our MC today. She will cover the registration and housing process. And in the QA session, we will have our guest speakers, the Director of Academic Affairs, the Academic Affairs Advisor, Judy, and our housing officers are here also to help you out if you have any questions. Make sure to write it down, and we will answer all of your questions either in the chat or QA session or through our QR code. Just stay tuned. We will cover all the questions that you have. And I will give the mic to Darren. Go ahead. Let's start.
Thank you, Zara. Hello, everyone. My name is Darren Jones. I'm one of the graduate enrollment counselor here at SFBU. Thank you for being here and learning about the keys to campus life, housing, and registration process today. So we're going to get started and we can move forward with everything. We already met the enrollment counseling team, and so we can move forward. So we just want to see how many people are here from all over around the world, since we have a lot of students from different countries. We have different cultures here in our school. So kind of very curious to see where you guys are from. So you could put it all in the chat and then we could see where you guys are coming from. I'll give you guys like a minute or two. Okay, some people are a little bit shy. That's okay.
Just write the name of your country in the chat. We will be happy to see the name of your country. I know it might be a little bit late night, but let us know you.
Yeah, we would love to know where you guys are coming from and where you guys are listening from.
Looks like someone in the Q&A mentioned that the chat is disabled. I don't know if that's the case for all
Oh, okay.
attendees, but they're putting their answers in the Q&A section.
Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. That does seem like what's going on here. Okay, cool.
There's also a whiteboard to annotate.
It's interesting. Can we enable it?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, guys, we're gonna see what's going on here with the chat. So just give us 1 sec.
I can attend some chat with everyone.
Yeah, great.
Okay, perfect.
All right, amazing. All right, so it looks like we're about to enable the chat, so probably give us a few seconds. There we go. All right, I see someone from India. Gambia, nice. Pakistan. Another one from Pakistan, India, Norway, amazing. All right, thank you very much, Lisa. That should do it. All right, amazing. All right, I see it all. That's amazing.
Fun fact, we have students from over 40 different countries and locally as well.
Perfect. All right, great. All right, you guys can hear us loud and clear. Is that correct? Just want to make sure everything is a-okay on our end.
Feel free to give us an emoji or a thumbs up in the chat too as well.
Mhm. You can hear me?
Let me see if I can.
Music is my volume still low? Okay. Okay.
Thank you all for participating
Okay.
from all around the world. And now we are ready to start the session. Thank you all.
All right, let's continue. So today we are going to discuss about how to apply for your housing and housing deadlines, as well as the registration process. Now, all of these are very straightforward, so it should be easy to go into step by step. So let's get started. So completing your housing application is pretty much simple. Everything is going to be in your student portal. So once you log in, you're going to go into this page right here. And then you're going to go under student services. And you're also going to click down to housing application. That's where you'll find the form. So once you click that, here's the form right here. And then you can read everything in the beginning as an intro. And then you'll select your applying for housing as an applicant. And then you'll pick which term you are going to be in. And then you move forward from there. So once you submit the first page, you'll move on to the second page. And then it'll ask you a little bit more things about yourself and what type of roommate you basically are. Like if you're a smoker, if you sleep late, if you're a morning riser, if you cook, if you're messy, if you're tidy, all those questions. Basically, so they can match you with a roommate that best piques your interest. This is the second page. This is a continuation of the second page, and this is the accommodation section. So if you were to need any accommodations, like if you have a service dog or you have any, what would you say? Like any accommodations that you think that well suits you to be living in a single, I believe. That's correct. Then you can write that down here in your accommodations. I know somebody from housing will look into it. Is it Margot? Margot will look it over, see if it will be approved, and then you'll probably get an email if you're approved with that or not. And so we can move forward with that to the third page once that is submitted. And then third page will be the eligibility side. So it'll be just letting you know what if you are eligible to be in our housing or not. So you have to be a admitted F1 student. You have to submit your visa and your tuition deposit and confirm your enrollment even before starting your application for your housing. Let's see. And yes, students living in housing will be charged $4,000 per semester for the spring and for the fall. And students living in housing during the summer terms will be charged $2,000. So it really just depends. And you can also pay that with payments. You would just need to ask with our booster office, aka Edie. So she will also help you out with that when the time comes. And there's also the application fee, which is $40. And then there's a continuation with putting your debit or credit card information, and then you can make the payment like that. So yeah, as I mentioned, it's pretty straightforward. It's pretty much an easy process. Once everything's done, you will get the emails looking like this, basically saying, thank you for your submission. The housing team will look everything over and they'll submit more emails about approval of your housing and maybe even matching up with more roommates. And so you'll definitely get more emails about that. Okay, so we have some deadlines and also some important notes to keep in mind. So June 9th is when the housing application is open in your student portal. So you have a little bit of time to, just to see if on-campus housing is for you. And we'll get into that in a little bit. June 23rd is the deadline. So just make sure you have that in your calendars. That way you know when to submit everything. And June 30th is the housing acceptance notification that will be sent out. So you'll receive your approval email and maybe even your roommate assignments as well. And then July 14th will be the housing payment deadline. So for students, students must accept or decline the offer within 3 business days. This will allow us to, the housing department to accommodate students on either a waiting list in a timely fashion. And upon acceptance of the offer, students must agree to the terms and conditions in living in the university-owned housing. As well as students on the waiting list will be notified if they receive a placement as spaces become available. So we can move on. So these are move-in dates. So we have August 3rd, the summer bridge for move-in day, basically just for undergraduate and first-time students. Is that correct? And domestic students, there you go. And so that will be your guys' moving day, and you will receive more details about the moving process in a little bit in July, late July, I believe. So just look out into your emails just in case if you already submitted everything. And then August 13th will be for a fall semester move-in day for every other student. So returning students or late incoming students will be a part of that moving day. Okay, next one. All right, so like I mentioned before, very straightforward, pretty solid, I would say, pretty easy process. So I want to check in with you guys to see if you guys are planning on living on campus or even off campus. I would love to know your answers to that. You can click the QR code here, show us a poll to see which you guys are preferring. So we'll see what that looks like. Yes. Oops, sorry, one sec. Hmm? Wait, let me switch over real quick. You see that?
Yes.
Yeah, great. Oh, wow. Okay, so we got 4 people on campus. Do we have people on off campus? Because so far I see a big flat 0. I'm gonna type in the chat. Okay, perfect. Oh, we got 1 off campus. Live on campus. Okay. All right, all right. All right, so technically we got a 4-to-1 ratio. Not bad. Okay, I'll give you like 30 more seconds to see if we have a little bit of a change. But no rush, you guys.
I'm not sure, Darren, if we will cover about the cost of housing on campus housing.
What was that?
The cost, what is the cost of on-campus housing? Yeah, so
Yeah.
it's 4,000 per semester and 500 security deposit. However, the installment may be available, which means you will pay 1,000 every month if you have 4 installments. And this fee includes all the utilities and all the services that we provide. If something is broken or if something needs to be replaced, and all the services and utilities will be covered with this fee. And the housing is usually there are 2 or 3 bedrooms in every apartment, and each bedroom is a double occupancy. Just to make sure to know every detail before you make any decision. And thank you all for participating in our check-in.
Yes, thank you. I'd also put links in the chat. So there is some digital video and a couple of resources on the page for housing to see what it looks like, as well as the tuition and cost page to give you a sense as well with the tuition and housing payment plan.
All right, amazing. You guys can still see my screen, is that correct? Yeah. All right, perfect. Okay, we can move on. All right, so we have are starting the registration process. So this is also pretty straightforward as well. So registering for classes are now open. It will be available in your student portal once you confirm your enrollment and submit your visa and tuition deposit, and that's when you can submit everything when it comes to getting your classes. Now, there are some important notes to go into. So most classes will be chosen for you, especially for first-time students. That's mostly because of requirements, required courses. So those can't really be changed, and it's not really of a flexible schedule in your first semester. Now, your second semester, you can dive into wherever classes basically that interest you, especially with electives, sorry. You will still need to take some required courses in order to go into finishing the program, obviously, but you still have a little bit more flexibility in your schedule to add to add more classes if you would like. Now for the MBA program, we did start classes on the weekends now. So if that is something that you would like to be interested in, you could definitely look into that. There are some courses that start early as 3 p.m., but I know all classes start end at 9 p.m. So you can look into what works for you during the weekend, and if it works for you, then great. You can also add it to your schedule. Also, just to start, know that all programs start on August 18th. So just plan accordingly when coming down to our campus as well. Now, adding and dropping classes, usually that would be within the first week of classes. I know for first-time students, it's, as I mentioned, a fixed schedule, so there are some classes you can't drop because they are required for the first semester, but you can always talk to the registrar office or with Judy about either adding or classes or dropping classes within the first semester. It really does depend, so you can always talk with her and to see if there's any possibilities on that. We can move forward. So yeah, it's very much straightforward with everything. So that's the process with housing and also registration. I'm pretty sure you guys have a few questions for us. So if you would like to ask us any questions, we would love to hear from you guys, either from the chat or through this QR code. We would love to hear from you. So
Thank you, Darren. In the meantime, I would like to ask our housing department and registration department if you have anything to add, if you have any updates you would like to share that we didn't cover in the session, feel free to talk and start speaking. This is a great way for you to connect with our future students. So go ahead if you have anything else to add.
Also, there was a question in the chat about how many rooms or spaces are available exactly. And so we have housing for undergrad and graduate students. Would our housing staff like to speak to numbers or details on that as well?
yeah,
Sure.
so yeah.
We have Tracy
Jason?
and Jason with us as well. Or is that-
Yeah, Jason and Tracy are part of our housing department, so they'll have a little bit more information about the housing specifically. So if you have any other questions for them, they will be able to answer.
Yeah, sorry, I forgot to mention Judy and Lee are working in our registration department, and Jason and Tracy working in our housing department. So this is a very great opportunity for you to connect with our department other than enrollment. So feel free to ask any question that you might have, either in the chat, QA session, or through QR code.
Yes, thank you. And if your visa appointment does happen to be after the move-in date or the start date of classes, please feel free to contact your counselor and we can look into deferring, or if you need a letter for expedited appointment, we can support that if the move-in date is conflicting with your time coming in.
Looks like we have a question in the Q&A. Is there any registration fee for application? Can I waive it anyway at the time of registration and pay later? I think that's a great question for Judy to answer. If Judy would like to unmute and kind of answer that question, that'd be great.
Yes, okay, I will update the registration fee in the students want the register, they have to pay the registration fee and the learning resource fee and the campus fee. This fee is the fixed, is the every semester $455. And when you register, you have to pay this fees. And also is if you have the scholarship and the scholarship apply for the tuition parts. So after you finish the registration and we give the several days and you have to pay. After you pay, that is means you finish the registration. Otherwise, you not finish the registration and it's maybe it's if you're late, you need to have the late fees. Okay.
Thank you. And we have a question in the chat about, can international students move in before the August 13th start date? And we do know that students with a visa can enter in the country up to a month ahead of time. As far as living on campus a little bit earlier, moving in a bit earlier, would our housing staff like to speak to that as well, if that's a possibility?
Yes. Hi, good morning, everyone. My name is Jason. I'm part of the housing program here at SFBU. If you have any further questions after today, feel free to email us at housing@sfbu.edu. Regarding the question of would international students be able to move in before August 13th? Yes, all international students are still permitted to move in before August 13th. If you're an undergrad, the move-in day is on August 3rd. If you're a graduate student, the move-in day is on August 13th.
Thank you, Jason. That was very helpful. All right, do we have any other questions?
The number of housing spaces we have.
Okay. Yeah, so I know when it comes to the housing spaces, there are 2 people in occupancy per room, I believe so. Jason, if that is correct, then great. If I am wrong, you could correct me.
Give me total number of units, like us two.
Yeah, I can further elaborate regarding the our housing occupancy situation.
Great.
Currently, we offer all double occupancy, which is 2 students in 1 bedroom. And then in each apartment unit, we have either 2 or 3 bedrooms, which means that you'll be living with either 3 or 5 other students. So 4 or 6 students total in 1 apartment. And also I would say that space is limited. I would suggest you to apply as soon as possible if you're interested in on-campus housing, as soon as the portal opens on June 9th. Anything after that, we will not be able to guarantee, and you'll be placed on the waiting list.
Thank you. And there's also a posted virtual tour of the reliving space in the chat via our YouTube video and website. Thanks, Jason. And I believe maybe students were also asking about how many vacancies there might be as far as spaces for students when they apply as well, or maybe number of total spaces available for undergrad or grad, if there's an idea of that.
Yeah, I don't have an exact number. I'll just say that space is limited for now. So I would suggest that students, if you're interested in housing, please submit the application as soon as possible so we can have you in our system and assign you housing as soon as the application notifications are sent out on June 30th.
Great, thank you. And there was a good question in the chat about when new student orientation is. So just as a friendly reminder, fall 2025 new student orientation is August 14th or August 15th. You can choose either day and it is in your portal to register, and your checklist for new student orientation. So it's set up so that everyone will be moved in before then. So feel free to contact your counselor as well for the registration links and for next steps. As a friendly reminder.
And if any of you would like to speak and ask your questions verbally, I can also give you access to talk. Just please raise your hand, and after that, I will be able to give you a permission to talk. Since this is a webinar, so it is created in a way that we can answer as many as questions we can. However, if you would like to speak, since we are just few, less than 20 attendees, so we are also able to give you the mic and speak. Okay, Mr. Shikar, would like to talk.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hi, good morning to all. So my question is regarding is that I am an international student from India. So August 13 is the date for move-in. So if I arrive a little bit early, so can I move in before the date which are given by the SFBU, or I have to move in at that date?
So that depends if you're a graduate or undergrad student. Just to confirm, are you undergrad or grad?
I am graduate student.
Okay, yeah. So that is correct that you would have the August 13th start date or move-in date, but this housing staff, do you want to speak to if that could be earlier for graduate students? I believe you mentioned earlier, but
Yeah, unfortunately, it's not possible to move in earlier than the moving date. However, we have a few on-campus accommodations near campus for in case you want just to stay there temporarily before your moving dates.
Okay, just one last question. Some of my seniors are studying at SFBU, so they told me about the housing scholarship that they have been provided for 1 year. Is that it's still ongoing or it's been removed by SFBU?
No, unfortunately, it's not available anymore. Yes, it's correct. We used to offer housing scholarship even for whole program, but right now it's not available anymore. We just cover the tuition scholarship.
yes, thank you.
Uh,
Interesting. Oh,
No
Sure.
problem with that. That's my questions I want to ask. Thank you for answering.
You're
Okay.
welcome. Thank you, Shikar.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for your questions.
One more question. Just I submitted my visa on portal. Now, how I able to pay the enrollment deposit, like using credit card or?
Yeah, so that will be, yeah, you can use either a credit or debit card when the time comes to pay your tuition deposit. If it's not available on your portal along with your other checklist links, then you can contact your enrollment counselor to get added for you.
Okay, no problem. Thank you.
Thank you.
There's also a question in the chat about being placed with a roommate from same home country. So we feel free to, on the matching survey, put in your comments about any particular preferences and any requests as well. So it's a matching survey, just as a reminder. So it'll enter in level of tidiness and different options. And then from there, the team will see if they can accommodate your requests.
Just to have a reminder, if you're asking about application status or I-20s, please contact your enrollment counselor as this is about housing and registration process. Thank you very much.
Yes, we try to have every session specifically for specific topic to cover all of your question in this related topic. So if you can contact your enrollment counselor for any other questions not related to housing or registrations, I will appreciate it. However, my suggestion is also to stay tuned with other information session which might be related to your questions.
Great, thank you. And if you're an undergraduate student, there's a similar core of classes that you all be coming in with. If you do have transfer credit, that'll be adapted to the amount of credit you have. But you're always welcome to reach out to us and we can connect you with our registrar team too if you have questions on class registration.
Do you have any other questions?
I would like to end the session with our housing tour, virtual housing tour video.
Yep, I can definitely do that. Okay, so let me
Yeah.
pull up, oh, is it here?
This-
There you go.
Are you able to see my screen?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
You want me to pull up? I could do it.
Okay.
Okay, just give me one sec. Okay, we could take a little bit of a tour to what one of the rooms look like. So let's see what that looks like. Okay.
So we had two good questions in the chat.
So I hope you enjoyed the virtual tour. There are two great questions in the chat. For transfer F1 transfer students that are currently in the US, they'd like to know if they should move in August 3rd or August 13th. Do we have maybe our housing staff with an answer for that one?
Yes, so the move-in date of August 3rd is for all students that are participating in the summer bridge. So regardless if you're an F1 student or not, if you are participating in the summer bridge, you'll be moving in on August 3rd. If you are not participating in the summer bridge, you'll be moving in on August 13th.
Yep. And so because the summer bridge is for domestic students, if you are an international student, then you would be August 13th. So thank you for your question. And there is one more in the chat about, let's see here. There are payment plans. So just as a friendly reminder, let's see. One question.
Yes, there are payment plans when it comes to your housing. You could talk to our bursar office for possible payment schedule.
If there is no other questions or comment, we can end the session. And thank you all for participating. I would like to thank all the team members also. Before Darren ends the session, I just would like to thank you everyone for joining us. And back to Darren.
Yes, thank you guys so much for joining us. I hope you learned a lot from us today. We do have an upcoming event in June 9th, the same day as the application for housing to be opened in your student portal. We have more information on CPT, OPT, and on-campus jobs, and that is an information session on Monday, June 9th, on 10 to 11 p.m. So stay tuned for that if you are very interested. We also have our on-campus admitted students day and that will be for the fall on Tuesday, August 12th. Also the day before moving in day for your housing, and that'll be from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. So if you are interested in the CPT, OPT, and on-campus job info session, feel free to add that to your calendar, and stay tuned for our admittance day later in the next couple months. So hope you guys enjoyed and learned a little bit about housing application and the process for registration. And we really enjoyed you guys being here and asking us all sorts of questions. And just thank you guys so much for being here. We really appreciate it. You guys want to sign off? All right. That's amazing. Thank you guys so much. Also to Jason, Tracy, and Judy for being here as a little bit more help with more information. And also to Zara and Lisa and Quincy for helping out as well. And we hope to see you guys next time. Thank you very much.
Thank you all.
Thank you all. Have a good night, good day. Bye-bye.